This is a very serious moment in the United States of America, and we have to pay attention.
With that in mind, how are you the right person to be Arizona's next Secretary of State?
Well, if you just go on simple qualifications, there's no question. I am an experienced election administrator. I have a CIRA certification. I'm an attorney, a Marine Corps veteran, and all of that good stuff. And my opponent doesn't believe in the truth.
Your campaign's put out a website, I can get a printout of it. It's a website that says, Finchem is a danger to Arizona and this republic. Traitors like Mark Finchem will take away our right to vote. Do you believe that Finchem would literally take away people's rights to vote?
Well, he already has proposed it himself. In 2018, he put a bill forward in the legislature that would have taken away the citizens' right to vote for their U.S. senator, giving that choice to the Arizona legislature. So yeah, he's already himself said he doesn't want you voting for U.S. senator. If he's willing to do it there, he's willing to do it anywhere. He is a danger to American democracy. He's a danger to your vote. Elections are, as I've said, that golden thread that run through the fabric of society. And we have this unpredictable chaos pulling that thread out. If that happens, all of society disintegrates. And that's why I'm running for Secretary of State. We've got to keep this together in a way that has honor, that has integrity, that's predictable, and that just gets the job done by calling balls and strikes.
You're saying that you're running basically to hold democracy together, but tell me a little bit more about what your actual platform is. Do you make any changes to how we're running elections today in Arizona, and what would those be?
Well, we absolutely have to make sure that we do a really thorough survey of what the counties need, because the counties are the ones that administer the election, and there's 15 of them. Not all of them have the kind of resources that Maricopa County has. And so as Secretary of State, my job will first and foremost be to go to all of the rural counties, including Pima and Maricopa, and say, what do you need? What can we go to the state legislature and propose that they get for you? Whether it's technology or people, infrastructure, security, whatever it happens to be.
How do you help avoid things like what happened in Pinal County for the primary election, where there were misprinted ballots that forgot races and then not enough ballots at some of the polling places? I mean, that is a major problem where people likely did not get to vote, or not get to vote in all the races they wanted to vote in because of the mistakes of that office.
Well, look, Pinal County was a unique circumstance that we could have seen coming months ahead of time. They were completely understaffed and very much underfunded. And that was a problem that the Board of Supervisors should have recognized early. Now, an experienced election administrator would be able to say, hey, you guys only have 1 or 2 people running an office that's supposed to be supported by 7. What can we do to help you out? And really just calling it out and saying, we're noticing that you're not doing this right today. Can we help? Usually we'll light a fire under local leaders, because that's the kind of thing that someone in this sort of a position needs to be looking at.
Any particular log jams you see in the business services aspect of the Secretary of State's office?
I think we've got to be a little bit more creative when it comes to notaries public and the services provided there. I think electronic notaries need, that whole process needs to be clarified just a little bit. I think we can make some of the electronic transactions quicker and more efficient, do a lot more web-based stuff instead of a lot of the paper things. We have people buying and selling houses with an app and cars and all kinds of stuff. We should be able to use those sorts of technologies and get rid of a lot of the antiquated systems so that folks can make those transactions, have that money move through the economy a lot faster.
When you were recorder in Maricopa County with elections in the early years, you had some hiccups on election day. Some polling places didn't open on time. There were some controversies about some of the reforms that you had put in there. Did you learn through that process? I mean, it came to 2020 and they didn't find very much wrong with that.
Well, they didn't find anything wrong with it because we did learn. And it's the process that we have to go through. Look, we did about 25 years worth of reforms in 4 years in Maricopa County. We brought in new people, new technology, new processes, and there were going to be some hiccups. We experienced them, but while we were experiencing them, we stood up to them, we admitted it, and we solved those problems right away for voters. That's what my experience is. I'm not the guy who's out there talking about conspiracy theories and saying, oh, you make one mistake and everything is kaput.
One of the duties of the Secretary of State would be to take on the governorship if for some reason the governor did not want to or could not continue.
Sure.
How do you prepare yourself, not just for Secretary of State, but also to possibly have to step into the governor's office with no notice?
Well, you got to pay a lot of attention to everything, right? You've got to understand water policy, education policy, and the funding there. That's a big portion of Arizona's budget. You've got to pay attention to security issues, the border, commerce at the border.
Adrian Fontes, thank you very much for talking to us today. Good luck as you're campaigning around the state, and we'll be waiting for November.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.